Hello, and welcome to the Kathleen Spracklin podcast. I am a woman on a mission to assemble a cadre of writers, thinkers, and teachers who are transforming the world, one character at a time. And it all starts with one thing, a deep understanding of human motivation, why people do what they do, and the forces that drive them. To gain that understanding, I am mining the intersection of psychology, theology, and philosophy to make you a better writer. This is episode number 47. Name that character trait. Helena and the Monday Morning Blues. Well, we've been building our list of character traits, questions that help us nail down the stories that we gathered on our little 4x6 file cards. And this time we're going to take a break from building the questions and we're going to try doing one of these stories. So here's the story, and we'll see if we can identify the character trait that predominates in this story. Here goes. When the alarm went off at 5 a.m., like it always did, Helena rolled over and tried to pretend she didn't hear it. But less than 5 minutes later, she was getting ready to hop in the shower, like she always did. 52 was too young to be thinking about retiring, other than feeding her long-term savings account so that she'd have a comfortable retirement when she did retire. But this was another Monday. The weekend had sped by in a blur, and all the work week lay before her. Enough with the struggle. It was time to get it in gear once again. Name that character trait. I'll give you a moment to think about it, and then we'll travel through it together. So let's begin without me directing you. Let's just take a look at the character traits that we have so far. We've worked on resilience, balance, and insight. We haven't done empathy all the way down to the character trait yet. So let's study this chart first and see where you think you might be with your character trait. Got something in mind? Did you think it might be a resilience trait? Why don't you peruse this list and see if you can spot something in this list? You can pause if you need more time, but do you think it's on this list? Pause if you need more time. Okay, let's look at the last one. Here we are at the last group. Pause if you need more time. Okay, starting back at the beginning, let's talk it through together. Now pause if you still need more time to think about where you'd like to go. To me, I looked at this, and at first I was looking at two different possibilities for the character trait group. I was looking at possibly resilience and possibly balance. I thought possibly balance because she had to kind of take herself in hand to get in gear, to get herself up out of bed. That kind of seemed like managing herself. But it also seemed to fit resilience because her struggle was a struggle against the external physical world, just facing fatigue and just having to get her day going. So then, if we take a look at how they break down, however, as soon as we get here to how resilience breaks down, it seemed to me that the character trait involved was constancy, enduring tedium, boredom, and endlessness. Constancy is very much the character trait of everyday living. We aren't dealing with anything that's massive in the way of life-threatening, and we're not dealing with something that is where the suffering is paramount. It's just dealing with the seeming endlessness of it. And to me, the endlessness came in with regard to being 52 and knowing that she had a lot of years ahead of her before she could retire. But it seemed to me there was another possibility that could be argued for. And to me, that was possibly self-control, obedience to one's own will, because there was definitely some self-control evidence there, because when the alarm went off, she did get out of bed. So I think you could argue for both of those, but I personally settled on the idea that what we're really dealing with in this one is constancy. Did you enjoy our break from breaking down the character traits? Tomorrow we'll resume with empathy. It's going to take us a couple of days to break down empathy because it's the biggest one of all. It has 4 subgroups and 13 traits. So we won't be expecting to finish it in one day, but it will be our fun task for tomorrow. So see you then. Bye-bye.